When life hits you with a storm so fierce you can barely stand, where do you turn? Maybe it's a diagnosis that shatters your world, a loss that leaves you hollow, or a betrayal that cuts deeper than you thought possible. In that moment, everything you thought you knew about strength crumbles, and you're left wondering, can I even make it through this? But what if I told you there's a thread of hope woven into the chaos waiting for you to grab? It's not a flimsy promise or a fleeting feeling, it's the unshakable presence of God standing with you in the dark. Think about the times you felt abandoned, like the world turned its back and left you to fend for yourself. You've cried into the silence, asking why? Why this pain? Why now? Why me? And yet, in that same silence, something stirs, a whisper that says, you're not alone. It's not loud or flashy. It's quiet, steady, like a heartbeat you didn't notice until the noise faded. Have you ever stopped to listen, to feel the way it pulls you forward when you're ready to give up? Picture a man named David, a shepherd boy who became a king, but not without facing giants, literal and otherwise. He stood toe to toe with Goliath, a towering nightmare no one else dared to challenge, armed with just a sling and a stone. But what really held him steady wasn't the weapon in his hand, it was the trust in his heart. He knew God had walked him through dark valleys before, and that same God wasn't about to leave him now. What if your giant, the one staring you down today, isn't as unbeatable as it seems? You see, trusting God isn't about seeing the whole road ahead. It's about taking one shaky step when the fog's too thick to see through. It's the widow who gave her last coins, not knowing where her next meal would come from, only to find provision beyond her wildest dreams. It's the disciples in a boat, waves crashing, winds howling, watching Jesus sleep while they panicked, until he spoke, and the storm obeyed. What storms in your life could he calm if you let him take the helm? But here's the hard truth. Trust doesn't always feel good at first. It's raw, messy, like clinging to a rope when your hands are bleeding and you're too tired to hold on. You might scream at the heavens, "Where are you?" And that's okay, because God can handle your questions. He's not afraid of your doubt. He's right there in it, waiting for you to see. He's been carrying you all along. Have you ever noticed how the heaviest burdens get lighter when you stop trying to lift them alone? Look at the cross. Jesus himself faced the ultimate struggle, abandoned, broken, bearing a weight we can't imagine. He trusted the Father through the agony, through the silence, through the tomb, and what happened next changed everything. Death didn't win, darkness didn't last. That same power lives in you, right now, ready to turn your ashes into something beautiful. Can you feel it stirring, that promise that your story isn't over yet? So here's the challenge. Trust him today, not tomorrow when it's easier, not next week when the pain dulls, but right now, in the thick of it. Step into the unknown, not because you're fearless, but because he's faithful. Let go of the why long enough to hear the "I'm with you." Because the God who parted seas, raised the dead, and walked on water hasn't forgotten your name. What could happen if you handed him your struggle, just for a moment? Life will throw more storms your way, count on it. But every time you'll have a choice: cling to your own strength until it fails, or trust the one who never will. The struggles don't define you. What you do with them does. So take a deep breath, lift your eyes, and trust, because the God who's brought you this far isn't done with you yet. Are you ready to see what's on the other side?